that's a tune that is called China Boy, and that was the very first tune that I ever heard my guest, Teddy Wilson, play. And it really was very exciting. So I had to go out and buy all your records. And you didn't have too many out in those days.
No, that was the early days of recording.
Sure.
Yeah, a few with Benny Goodman's small group, and I did have a Red Knoll small group with it had Jack Teagarden in there and Gene Krupa on drums.
You were a big influence on my playing, as you can hear. How did you come about putting together that marvelous style of yours? Who influenced you?
Well, the first influence would be when I was in high school at Tuskegee Institute, Alabama. Some of the students would bring their phonographs and records. So someone brought some Armstrong records, some Big Spiderbeck records, Frank Tromboy and Eddie Lang, but the one that made the impression on me was Fats Waller.
That's Waller.
About a handful of keys.
Oh, wow.
Handful of keys.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it. When I heard that, I said, I want to be a piano player.
Oh,
I said, definitely. That's a wonderful record. If you play it today, you'll find it is absolutely flawless. It's there's not one error in it at all.
Some marvelous composition.
And they say Fats could knock off about 2 bottles of booze and still not strike a wrong note.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Remarkable talent Fats Waller had.
Yeah. Who else influenced you?
After Fats, I would say the big influence would have been Earl Hines.
What did you like about his playing?
This melodic right hand in which he used the octave, like a trumpet. Could play trombone or saxophone, but he used the octave because in those days there was no, the microphone wasn't used to amplify the piano. I'm one of the first pianists to use a mic.
Really?
Yeah. When I moved to Chicago, I actually met Earl, and he let me sit in his band and rest him up sometimes and play with the band. But before that, I had previously, just shortly before that, met Art Tatum. And I was with Art Tatum every night. I was with him standing over his shoulder, and Art would show me anything I'd ask him. He admired the fact that I admired him.
Yeah.
And so we were great friends as well as musical friends. We were personal friends, too.
Well, let's play something together. As I said, you were a big influence on me, and I'd really like to play something with you. What about something out of the big band era?
Yeah, well, there's one tune that I'd like to play by one of the lesser known but very important arranger and composer, Edgar Sampson, who arranged and composed for Benny Goodman, most of Benny Goodman. He was famous for his Stompin' at the Savoy, which he wrote for Goodman, and When Dreams Come True, songs like that. So another little tune that he did, Don't Be That Way. I'd like to run through a couple of courses. Don't Be That Way.
Let's do that.
By Edgar Sampson. Okay?
Right. Sure.
Bravo.
Oh, that's marvelous. You know, that is actually the first time I've ever played with you.
I entered that technique you've got. You know, you've always had. I remember when you came up from Washington and used to play around 52nd Street.
Right.
Several fellows came up around that same time. Errol Garner came from
Right.
Pittsburgh. George Shearing came over from England, and Marion McFarlane came over. And but you had this technique. I feel that you're born with it. I don't think you practiced to get that.
Yeah, I had to work on it a little bit.
You worked on it,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
you
sure.
You had it in those days.
Yeah, well, thank you. I had worked on it already when I came to New York. I tell you how I got it. I got it listening to you and to Art and to some of the pianists who played very cleanly and whose work I admired. When you play today, you were telling me that you like to play out of tempo. You like to play some of the things that are where you can be more lyrical.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested in. Yeah.
Would you play something like that?
All right, if you got a couple of minutes, I'll play you a little Gershwin medley.
All right.
Okay. It's the feel of it, basically.
That's beautiful. Well, you had in your early recording career, you had your choice of some of the best musicians in jazz. I mean, you would have Johnny Hodges, or you'd have Benny Goodman even as a sideman. I mean, you have all kinds of people
on those
recordings.
All-star records.
Sure.
Yeah.
I remember one thing you did that I loved, the Sunny Side of the Street. I mean, I really liked it. You still play that?
Yeah.
I'd like to play that with you.
All right, let's do that one. What key are you going to do?
Wherever you want. What key you want to do?
Let's see, maybe C.
That's good.
C is good.
All right. Why don't you start it off?
Let's see, I play about 8 bar intro.
Okay.
you have.
All right. That's beautiful. One thing I'd like to just ask you about in terms of the kinds of playing that you were famous for. You played in the Benny Goodman band when there were no black players. I mean, that was a first. I mean,
we were the first to break the color line.
Yeah. What kind of experiences did you have? Was it?
We had Benny and Gene Krupa and myself were presented on an equal basis. I wore the same uniform that Gene wore, and the three of us played on an equal basis. No differentiation between the three of us at all as far as playing.
And you made
so
movies?
It was really the place really integrated organization that was on a national scale, because we were very, very famous in those days. Back in the middle 30s, the Goodman band, after they made the hit, especially made their big hit at the Palomar Ballroom in Los Angeles, the spotlight was really on us. So, and then Lionel Hampton joined us a little later, and we had made a quartet out of it.
So
same basis of equality, no difference between the players.
Well, you really played in a very beautiful way together, the three of you and then the four of you. What kind of reception did you get from the audience?
Oh, it was just tremendous reception. The trio was a big hit, big hit with the crowd.
Well, Teddy, it's really, I can't tell you what a pleasure and a privilege it is to sit down and listen to you play and to perform with you, and just to tell you publicly how much I have admired your work over the years, and what an inspiration you've been to just a whole generation of pianists. Just to name a few that you already named a few, Marion McPartland and George Shearing, and I know what respect Organa had for you and art. So, it's just nice to remind you, perhaps, of the respect and affection that all of us have for the terrific things you've done.
I do appreciate it. I'm very thankful for it.
Let's play I Got Rhythm, just as a kind of a wind-up thing.
All right.
You don't have to play it, play it at a tempo that's comfortable.
Tear out.
Go ahead. Right.
again.
Oh, it was beautiful. Thank you very much. My guest has been the incomparable Teddy Wilson, and I've really enjoyed it, and I sincerely hope you have.